How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you my review for Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Season 2, Episode 24. It is the finale of this entire season, and it is entitled Succession. Yeah, like that one show that I definitely don't watch, but Succession. So before I go any further, please hit that like button. It really does help. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you may be notified of more reviews like this one. It feels like just yesterday when I was starting this. I guess, does this count towards the spring? I mean, we're going into July, right? And this kind of feels like it is the summer. I guess the summer anime season will probably end in September? But yeah, here we are. Remember last time, if you haven't seen my other review for that, it's right before this one. So go ahead and watch that one, or watch this one, and then the notification for that will be right around here. No, actually right around here for that, because last time I was talking about Rudy wants to marry Roxy too. Well, Elena says, you guys don't worship Millis, and I'm gonna be real with you. Millis seems like really freaking uptight. That seems like an uptight religion. Norn is part of it, so I don't. Y'all gonna hear me curse a lot in this one. So she suggested it. Rudy wants to do it. She's like, well, do you guys ask your wife's permission? Yes. Ask me again, baby boo. And that's where we left off. They all are trying to get there. They're almost home. And in Rudy's mind, he remembers the human man god saying, hey, if you go on this thing, it's going to be sad. It's going to be bad. And you're going to regret it. No, he said you're going to regret it. And Rudy runs, all with that one arm. And Geese dumbass, like, he must really miss his wife. Yaku. It's just like, motherfucker. She's standing right there. Obviously, the others probably don't know this. But he goes in. He's calling around. No one's answering him. He finds Aisha with the one little stump. He's like, where's everybody? Everybody okay? She's like, your hand, though. No. Where's everyone else? He's like, well, Sylvie walks in. She's very much pregnant. Very much with long hair. looking great. He's like, are you okay? Yeah. I mean, everybody's been treating me fairly. Aisha's helped a lot. Norn has helped a lot. He's like, okay. I can't remember the name of the woman that's with Zenoba. I'm just gonna call her Gracie. I'm sorry. Well, what about Zenoba, Julia, Gracie, Persinia, Linnea? He names all of his people. Now, Hoshi, Cliff, is everybody okay? And she's like, yeah, no, everybody's good. Are you okay? He just breaks, like, when I say breaks down, he just collapses. And he's like, oh, okay. Because he thinks about, when he thought about what the human man guy said, he said, well, Paul was sadness, not regret. And since I have a little bit of inside information, I will not reveal the thing behind that, but for all intents and purposes, kind of looks like he was a liar, doesn't it? Although Rudy can't do this anymore, he cannot clap his hands, so maybe he does. Maybe he would regret it. Who knows? Everyone else finally gets there, and they do the whole. For this thing to not be Japan, they do a lot of Japanese thing like Tadaima, I'm trying to remember, how do you say I'm home? I believe it's not Osishama desu. It's something. I know, Tadai. Oh yeah, no, it might be Tadaima. But they say, I'm home, welcome back. And of course, Lisa's smiling. That's her grandbaby, right? She's happy to see them happy, and then Roxy's just like, just the sadness just so apparent. They have Aisha to go get Norn because Norn is at school. Because now we got to have two awkward talks today. First awkward talk is about, their dad is dead. And I freaking knew this is how that mother... I knew she was going to act like this. So, they sit down and have the conversation. It's the family, right? The friends are at the friend table. It's the family. Roxy hasn't transitioned over there yet. But it's the family. So, Sylvie, the girls... Lilia? Yes, Lilia Zenith, who is out of it. I'll get to that in a minute. And Norn's looking around for their dad. And it feels like Rudy makes this so much more dramatic than he's like, our father, Paul Greyrat. And he didn't make it, right? And she's like, well, explain to me what happens. And she goes off at first. She's like, you were about to bring him back. What? Did you even? And she looks and sees the stump. He's still wearing the bloody coat that he lost his hand. And so she starts crying. He explains everything. And, she's like, well, you did everything you could. He's like, to the best of my abilities, I did everything I could. And she starts crying. It's so heart-wrenching. Even Geese is having a hard time keeping it together. Even I was like, I don't enjoy, as much as she gets on my nerves, I don't enjoy watching her cry unless she deserves to cry. I want somebody to punch her in the face sometimes, but not for this. They lost a parent, right? So she's bawling her eyes out. Remember, Aisha, that's also her daddy. So she's not crying. She's keeping it together. And he's like, this is what's left of him. His ashes. I saw when he busted out the ashes. I was like, yeah, that would fuck me up too. He busted out the ashes, the greaves, his long sword, and his other shorter sword, right? And she wants his short. So she's like, can I hold on to that for a while? He's like, no, you can just have it. And I gotta go and find Greaves Blaze. Blames him like I knew. I even put that in there. Even put that in my notes because it gets on my damn nerves. Tells you can have the sword, and he says when you have the sword, you have to have a sword in your heart, and you can't protect. Can't protect if you don't have mental discipline. And we get a flash of like literally season 1 where Paul says that to Rudy, little baby Rudy to Booty. Shout out to Chalk Zone. And Lilia, she gets little tears in her eyes because she knows this is the conversation that she's been privy to before. So you may have a sword, but don't think it makes you strong. She struggles to hold that damn thing. I could think of a red-headed mad dog that could help you with that sword. Get to that in a minute too. And so after she takes the blade, Zenith picks up his greaves and holds them. And everybody's like, Mom? And they're like, they don't know if she's ever going to go back. So they just think it's just a thing she just did. Y'all live in a magical time. You're best friends with literally the demon god himself, who was in that pantheon. You're friends with people who are hundreds, thousands of years old. It's not hard to believe that something's going on with her, but she might actually be more there than you think. I'm just saying. I put something else in my notes here. I'll get to that. I might as well just say it. They give Aisha permission to hug her mom and cry. Aisha takes her duty as a maid of the house serious. Rudy tells like look, Lily's gonna take care of Zenith, but they staying here. So things might change a little bit, but this is what's gonna happen. And it's nice and touching. When the crew leaves, Rudy thanks them all, and they're like, yo, if anybody needs to thank us, Tall Hand Specialist, everybody needs to thank us, it's Paul. So you have no reason to thank us. Geese wants him to continue to call him, new guy, because it just feels like it's good luck. Geese is definitely the superstitious type, but I get it. The girls, Sharia and I almost call her Saria and Varia, girl who got grape juiced, and her sister who usually wears the revealing clothing to take the heat off of her. They want to know whenever he buries Paul, because then they're going to pay their respect. Well, give him a grave marker so they can pay their respects. And we get a nice little conversation between Rudy and Elenise. Elenise takes part of the blame for what happens to Paul. Her role in the party is to make sure things like that doesn't happen. You know, she's saying that I should have took the block and not him. And so, you know, Rudy's like, well, it's not your fault. You know, you can't blame yourself. And then she goes, and you should not blame yourself either. And I'm glad someone touched on that. That was good job. Good job, Lise. So Lise's about to go see her man because she pats herself like, I got to go see Cliff. We see, so they're outside. Roxy's still in there. And she makes a point, you know what I'm saying? All right, I'll see you later. Right? Sylvie, Rudy loves you. All right, everybody, we need to leave. And now it's time for us to have that other conversation. And I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I might be Team Eris, but Sylvie is definitely the GOAT. Sylvie is the GOAT. I'm saying, look, first of all, this show is probably one of the better examples of poly relationships. You know, if you're as old as I am or older, you remember Tenchi Muyo, where the harem, like this is, I don't even want to call this harem because this is actual relationships, right? This is actually going, you know, we need to discuss this. These are my feelings. It's not, I don't love this person more than I love this person. I love them differently, but equally. I have said, I even said last time, I believe that a person can love more than one person. And this is different than the harem, even though the harem trope, such as with Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi never really says that he loves any of them more than the other. It's just sometimes in one season you see him with Ryoko more, and some season you see him with it's the Princess Ayega. It's the older one, not the little one. Then you got the cat thing that may also be a princess, and then you got oh goodness, I can't remember the name of the scientist lady. Eventually, I think in like 2021 or 2019, they all got married together, which a lot of people saw as a cop-out because it's like, oh, he couldn't pick, but different times I can see it, that's fine. But this is different from something like that. So now we're having this conversation. And now this is where I started to curse because fucking Norn. I knew this motherfucking Norn would be a bitch about this. Because she's just going off. Rudy's all on the ground and he's like, you know, I couldn't I thought I was gonna stay faithful. I tried to stay faithful. And this is what, first of all, Sylvie's the GOAT. And I won't lie, you gotta get yourself a ride or die like Norn because Sylvie's like, I understand Norn is saying all this on my behalf, right? Because Norn goes, well, you know, Sylvie the whole time's going, I miss Rudy. Do you think Rudy's eating all right? Do you think he's okay? And, you know, she even grabs her brother like this. And he's like, look, man, I was going to try to kill myself because Dad died, legitimately. And she came in and pulled me out of the darkness. So, are you supposed to abandon a person? He flat says, I know what it feels like to be trapped and unable to move. So you're supposed to abandon the person that takes you out? And she's like, look, I understand that you did that for me and I'm grateful. And I'm like, Norn, you don't fucking get it. This is not the first time Rudy was in that situation. Rudy was in that situation when he was younger than you. You silence witch. Do not tell me about the old ways. I was there when they were written. Shut up, Norn. And then Norn starts going off on her. She says, she's a little kid. She's no older than I. She's like, actually, I'm a grown woman. I may be tiny. I'm grown. He's like, well, you're shameless and blah, blah. And Roxy is one of those personality types that beats up on themselves. I have people in my life who I care about deeply who do that, who beat themselves up way too much. And Roxy's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to pretend like I didn't take advantage of the situation because of how I feel about him. But it is what it is. And Nor's just like, you barged your way in here. And Ruth's like, she was trying to go to be a good person. I told her to stay. Well, no, she needs to just go. And Roxy's like, all right, peace. And Rudy's like, wait, no, I can't let her leave feeling like, no, baby, no. And before he can say, wait, Sylvie the GOAT goes and talks to her. Sylvie's like, yo, I was waiting for Rudy to take another wife. I mean, come on, it's Rudy. It's Rudeus. We know who his daddy was. You know who Paul is. And, you know, Rudy talks about you literally all the time. Yeah. He says that's the only, she's the only mage I could ever look up to. And I like to point out, it's so funny that Sylphie is actually taller than Roxy, which is funny and cute at the same time. And, you know, she says, the way that you look at him, I kind of think to myself, man, I wonder if that's how I looked, right? And she used to be jealous the way he talked about Roxy. But then he goes, well, when I look at you here and the way you look at him, I'm not jealous anymore. I realize you're just like me. We just both really love this dude. So, you know, you're just an ordinary person that loves him. I love him. Let's both support Rudy. I'm like, dog, you got your... Did good job, Rudy. You know how to pick them, dog. Or did they pick you? I don't know, but you know how to pick them, dog. Good job. So, yeah, that's basically the hot. No, it's not the only thing that happens. Because you got Norn going off. So, here's why I'm getting some other notes. You can throw out the whole, they give my shit permission to cry. But let's talk about this part right here, right? So Norn they're doing sword practice. Rudy can only fight with one arm because he only got the one arm. And he's like, you're swinging wild. And she's like, well, it's your fault. You know, and Millis this and Millis that. And they're like, yeah, but none of us do the Millis thing. I'm going to be real. I guess in this ancient time little thing, there are still certain zealots and sects that are just annoying as all fuck. And it seems like Millis, Millis followers make me go, I don't know what Millis is, but I'm assuming that it's crappy. Because you got Cliff that keeps talking about that shit. Even Lisa's like, look, I'm only in it because my man is in it. This shit is difficult because they got restrictions on everything. And Norn's grandmother seem like assholes. Just putting it out there. So I couldn't do Millis. I would pray to Boggy Doggy before I pray to whoever the hell Millis is, right? And then I think it's Sylvie that pointed out. Sylvie's like, you do realize like Paul had 2 wives too, right? And that's how Aisha's here. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't. And Aisha, being more mature, is like, yeah, no, she speaks before she thinks. She's done it again. And we get one cute moment where she chases her because she's like, oh no, she's blown her. It was cute. It added some levity to the situation. Rudy will marry Roxy after Sylphie has the baby, and Roxy's straight up like, I'm doing this because I feel guilty about how all this has gone down. This is the most I can do for you so you can have your moment. And you can tell woman to woman, Sylphie she says I appreciate, but you could just tell that they do really good facial animations. Like this hand-drawn shit is some good facial animations here. And the baby's born. The baby's name is Lucy, which he's like, yeah, it's a combination of the two. Your name is Rudy. I get Sylphie, right? Your name is Rudy. Are we playing up the whole Japanese Ru-Kane or Ru-Kane? Ryu or Ryu or Ryu? Which one is it? Are you Japanese in this damn world, or is this just no, we get it. It's anime. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. So, baby's name is Lucy. Sylphie still got an issue with the whole green hair thing. She's just happy the baby is blonde. I think Lucy has red eyes like her. Red eyes like her, blonde hair like daddy. And Rudy's he's all in tears, and he goes to his dad's grave. And this is a really good scene. This is definitely the end, because as he's talking to his dad, sharing a drink with him, telling him, got married to Roxy, 2 swords, dog. 3's better though. Got married to Roxy. Baby's here. Baby's named Lucy. If you hadn't given up your life, I wouldn't be here for my child's birth. And I'm just gonna run down here, cause I'm pretty sure I would. So, this was a good speech. So he says he was a failure of a son because he has memories of a past life, so he couldn't face him like a son should. Takes a drink. He's like, I see myself as Paul Greyrat's son now, and I get it. I was a brat using memories to act grown up. I'm gonna just pause right there. I guess you can say Rudy was a brat, but let's just be honest. If you didn't have those adult memories to be a little bit more mature, Lily will probably be out in the cold. It might be dead, and Aisha might be dead too. A lot of your memories have helped you form this path that you are on, and you have not only made things better for yourself, you've made things better for your immediate family and friends. So then maybe that's another thing. He does the same shit that Roxy does too. That whole self-mutilation thing, like, oh, I'm a terrible person, and shut up. You make mistakes. Well, she admits, she's like, I'm being a dad, so I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna make plenty more, but I gotta change little by little and worrying the whole time. That's what being an adult is, right? So how did you get through it? And we got a nice little sad song over the credits, right? And he's gonna bring the whole family next time. And I do like the fact that he admits that he's technically a whole different person to his dad's grave. Because then you get the wind blows when he says, I'll see you next time. It's literally Paul saying goodbye. I was getting misty eyed right there because that's a nice touching thing right there. And there's a story night above. You get the Zenoba crew, you get the Beast Girls eating turkey legs and shit. We see Boggy Doggy and Ruger. I thought Ruger just left on his own, but Ruger is just kind of like, and Boggy Doggy is being Boggy Doggy, right? And we see the super goat, Eris, just the red hairs long with the blade right there. That's season 3. Please come back, season 3. I don't care if it's part 2, season 3. Please come back. And we get a little Rudy. We got Rudy voicing over the stuff, right? I screwed up big time. I don't always learn my lesson, but this is the end. I'll go on living in this world, and he can die anytime without regrets. And that's okay. That's nice and all. But as I'm repeating these lines, I think he said this in the Rudy voice and not the voice that's in his head that we hear, like his old self, which is kind of sort of interesting. It's kind of weird. You never think about it, that if you get reincarnated and you become someone else's kid, let's say you keep all your memories, like, do you still have love and appreciation for your new parents as well as your old parents? It's kind of an interesting concept. I would assume you would, if you still have all your memories. Oops. I would assume you would if you have all your memories, but this was very nice because then you get the girls bringing out the family, literally the whole family: Zenith, Lilia, Roxy, the baby. Everyone's out there and they look at this nice, clear, starry night. Nanahoshi, we do see Nanahoshi too in her laboratory. Mask off, looking at all this as well. It was a very nice way of ending things. And that the ending screen was Paul with little Rudy. Fitting. We get a preview, but I didn't get any damn subtitles with this, right? Talking about getting ready for season 3, and we get both voices. So I guess the voice of Rudy, that is technically a woman's voice, is not going to change into Zenitsu, because I know Zenitsu's voice actor from Demon Slayer did the, was it web comic? He did the web version of this whole labyrinth thing, because you expect Rudy, you're 16, 17. I thought you would have went through puberty, maybe, or maybe it's just we've had this voice actress for so long it doesn't make any sense to change. It doesn't make a difference to me. But yeah, this was a really, really, really good episode. This is a good ender. I'm definitely giving this a 5 out of 5 because we had those tough conversations, and I appreciate that this stuff wasn't dragged on. I like that. Hey, we got to give you bad news. Here's mom, but she's messed up, and dad's dead, and I got one arm, and Norn is still Norn. Norn is probably my least favorite member of this entire family. She needs to get that stick out of her ass. But yes, this was a good episode. Really fun episode. We see everybody get the hints of Eris, the goat, the super goat. Sylphie's the goat, but this is the super goat. super duper goat. Fun, 5 out of 5. Let me know what you thought of this episode. What did you think of the season? Well, what did you think of part 2, season 2? What did you think of season 1 as well? I like these breaks, right? I like the breaks we get because that was nice getting reacquainted, that whole school arc, and then going into the labyrinth arc. I like that. That was very nice. So we'll probably see Musha season 3 probably in 2025, probably around the same time. Probably part 1. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I got a Patreon if you want to support me even further, because we're doing bigger things in this year. So that Patreon link is down there as well. I appreciate you all. So thank you for taking some time to show up and listen to me talk about Mushoku Tensei. I'm looking forward to next season already. Please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands, drink some water, all right? On the 4th of July, you drink responsibly, okay? Stay safe out there. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk, all right? And remember, if you're feeling down and out like Rudy, reach out to somebody. There are people out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. As a matter of fact, if you see someone that you care about, or someone, even if it's a stranger, someone that you say is down, extend a friendly hand to them. I'm sure they will appreciate it. All right. My social media is in the description below. Give me a follow. Say hi. Don't be a jerk, and we will be A-okay. All right. And until next time, hopefully I will have a ending tagline for this series. But until next time, y'all, I'll see you. Hopefully, Rudy has like 2 more kids by the time we get hit. They won't do that. Maybe. Who knows? I'll see you next time.